Town of Woodbridge Inland Wetlands Agency, April 16th, 7:30 PM. First item, Andre will be seated for Bob. And we need to add an item to the agenda. So we need a motion to add an item to transfer the approved wetlands permit for the property located at 22 Grouse Lane, Woodbridge, Connecticut. We need a motion for that to add it to the agenda. Josh, moved, seconds?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. 5-0, it's added to the agenda. Be number 2 under new business. First item,
You
new
can
business.
always talk.
I'm sorry.
Just cross-talk, sorry about that.
First item of business, Michelle and Cheryl Weiner, 36 Elderslie Lane, application for in-ground pool, patio, and shed in backyard. Someone,
So Alan Shepherd's on vacation, and so he's not able to appear. So you're receiving it this evening. I also distributed to you this evening the approval that they received from Quinnipiac Valley Health District for the pool. So it's up to you if you want to carry it over to your next meeting, possibly take a site visit if you want. Otherwise, if you wanted to defer it to me, it's not a big deal, but that's totally up to you.
we've been out to the property.
Have I been out there? Yes, I've been by.
I guess the only thing is that we've got a lot of work very close to the wetlands.
Mhm.
And I presume there was an original wetlands permit when the house was built.
Yes. This is one of the rare cases where the people who live there actually were the first people that moved into the house.
Is the wire fence existing, or is that going to be a new fence? Do you know?
I'm sorry, which fence?
The wire fence that crosses,
Across the back?
yeah.
That's a deer fence.
I think you start at the southern end of the property.
It's a deer fence.
No. And so that exists already, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And the patio is going to be new. So that doesn't exist today,
Correct.
according to the permit. I'm inclined to move this to the next meeting.
Thanks.
Do you want to do a site visit?
Um,
She welcomed you to come out if you so wish.
I'd like to see the proposal first, but
It would be good to have somebody come and explain,
explain
just so as they explain, you can ask
Yeah.
questions.
only again because of its closeness to the wetlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do we need a motion to
No.
move it off? Okay, all right, so let's defer this to the next meeting.
Very good.
Second item on the new business is this transfer of wetlands permit to a new owner. I don't,
So when the permit came in, the applicant was the engineer. And so now the person who hired him is having him just purchase the property, is having the permit transferred to him.
so there's no issues with that, we just need a
As long as
motion.
we have a letter of consent from the current owner of record, which we have.
Yes. So we need a motion for this?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Does somebody wish to make a motion to transfer the permit?
Did we do that earlier? I don't have my agenda.
We put it on the agenda. That's what we did, because it was a new item.
I see no reason we shouldn't do this. I so move.
Oh, a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? 5-0. Can, I guess, re-register or move the permit to the new owner? That takes us to Gary Greco, 330 Rimmen Road, application for 2-lot re-subdivision.
So again, Alan's not here, but Mr. Greco, the applicant, is here. So the plans were revised to address comments that we had at your last meeting.
Can you summarize what was changed, or do we need?
As far as I know, the only.
You need to come up to the,
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
Come up, come up, sign in.
As far as I know, the changes or were requested were to allow to cut the field up to 4 times a year, and also to flag the wetlands, which were updated. The print, as I understand, the drawings were updated, and the wetlands were flagged, and also there were perk tests done as well.
Thanks.
Everything that probably was on the list. The ones that are outside of the 100-foot. Put the contours in. We talked about the driveway being gravel, but that's, may or may not be out here. And again, this permit is to allow the re-subdivision. And again, when the lots are sold or building plans, there would be another permit for the construction.
Possibly. I have 2 daughters. I have one big lot, so I subdivided them so that, I keep peace. My mom and my brother live in front, so it's kind of a family community, if you will. So
We call that a compound.
a compound, a family compound, yeah. So it's kind of a nice situation to have.
I don't see anything for us to approve, not approve, because the real issue comes when you want to build a house.
When you build the house, correct.
Yeah, I do have, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
So Mr. Greco?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I was struck by this request to mow 4 times a year. What's the purpose of that?
It's a field, and I think the grass gets relatively high, and I think aesthetically it looks better. I suppose that's really the only reason.
Is this mowing we're talking about right now,
Mhm.
mowing that you anticipate will take place within 100 feet of the wetland markers?
I would say probably not. It's probably outside of that area. I would say it's more than 100 feet.
That would be required, that you would, without a permit, you would not be entitled to go cut that, to cut anything within 100 feet of the wetlands without a permit from.
Okay. I don't think it would be. I don't think we would get that close to it anyway.
Well, that's what concerned me, is a lot of times, I see properties that are relatively flat or so, and we end up with a lot more cutting and management of lawns and disturbances in the wetland area, or activities that impact the wetland area, because people just don't appreciate the fact that there is a regulated area. So that's why I'm concentrating and talking with you about this 100 feet. Are you going to be doing any of that? You're free to do what you
No.
want within reason, cutting
Right.
your own property outside of that 100 feet. You can
Right.
cut as often as you like.
Right. Well, I think he just asked for up to 4 cuts a year, which we only cut it twice a year now currently. But it's not in that area as I see it.
So
In the
Chris,
minutes last month, it was described as the wet meadow on Lot 1, it being beneficial to be maintained with periodic mowing, to maintain it as a meadow.
yeah, I would not be in favor of that without without an environmental report that suggests that. My inclination is to let that area become a natural space. So without any evidence that mowing would be beneficial, I don't believe that this commission should approve that kind of a disturbance in the regulated area.
Because the other part of that, when you were discussing it last month, was that area could be fenced to prevent lawn creep, so that the
Right.
periodic mowing would occur on the far side of the fence, and then the lawn would be on the upslope side, so it would just be maintained
Well, I
as a
think
meadow.
the confusion is, if you're not in a regulated area, then you don't need a permit for it. We don't have to mention it even, as
Right.
long as it's not in the regulated area.
Right, but I'm just saying, in your discussion last month,
Yeah.
when Mr. Shepherd was here,
Right.
he discussed cutting the wet meadow on Lot 1, delineating it with a fence so that the lawn wouldn't encroach into
Right.
that wet meadow, and then maintaining it as a wet meadow.
So again, yeah, thank you for that clarification. I don't think that really that doesn't change my position on it, so I would not be in favor of cutting a wet meadow.
Well, but if
And-
it's outside the regulated area, you can do whatever you like.
But once you create a wet meadow, I think that you might be creating a regulated area.
I'm not, but we don't know that.
Well, that's right. So we should err on the side of, without any professional guidance on that, we should err on assuming that we're creating a regulated area if we're talking about a wet meadow.
That could be the name of a poem. It's just a name.
Except we're
It's a word.
talking about land use, not the name of a poem. But I get your point, but I still, so that'd be my position, and Chris, whatever goes forth out of the commission, that mowing should be limited to outside of the 100-foot.
That's your opinion, right?
That would be
Your
my,
opinion at this point,
yeah, that's my preference.
because you're not acting or talking on behalf of the whole commission at this point, correct?
We're still discussing it.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question for clarification? So I'm seeing here that it's indicated where the 100 feet from the wetland is. Where exactly is this wet meadow? Is it on which side of the 100 feet?
Which drawing are you looking at?
It was it was going toward the wetland. It was not in a wetland, it was going toward the wetland. It was in an upland review area above the wetland.
But not within that area?
Not in the
that
wetland
says
itself,
100 feet?
no.
Okay.
Right.
So that would be a disturbance. That would be cutting would be within our regulated area in that wet meadow. So that's part of the reason.
It's not in a wetlands. It's in an upland review
As you
area,
said,
non-wetland soil.
Yeah, the regulated.
And that can be reviewed at time of.
And that can be reviewed at the time that you issue a permit.
I just wanted to make sure, Mr. Chairman, that any action we take today might limit our ability to exercise our discretion on that matter.
Our decision today is to allow the re-subdivision.
Correct.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
And they come back for individual permits if that's what you choose to have them do. If there is an activity within the regulated area.
Any other points of discussion? Otherwise, I would suggest a motion for a permit to allow the re-subdivision with a provision that at time of building, each lot, as appropriate, comes back for a wetlands permit and a review.
I concur.
So,
So moved.
we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0, so approved.
Thank you, Mr. Greco.
Thank you.
Now you get to come visit me for P&Z.
Yes. All right. Look forward to that. Okay.
All right, so
Thank you all.
family,
Have a good
remain
evening.
happy. Old business. We took care of that.
So, I don't think we have much. I did contact, Mr. Porchetti from 106, and he's gonna have a planting plan developed for you. And I told him absent it getting planted, it needed to be bonded, so they're working on that.
This is Seymour Road.
On Seymour
106,
Road,
yeah.
yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Could I ask?
I contacted Mr. Forchetti about a planting plan. They're working on a planting plan, and I said if they didn't get it done in this season, that they would need to bond for it.
Okay. May I comment on that, Mr. Chairman? Yeah, thanks. So I have to say, I'm feeling a little disrespected as a commission in the slowness of the way things are developing out at that property. I've been asking, I know I've put this almost on every agenda for the past 3, 4, 5 months. We've talked about planting plans. We still don't have a planting plan. Now there's some suggestion that maybe it'll hold over till next year. That's some possibility. So I'm a little concerned that we don't have the property owner's attention, and that if we are going to continue to wait for a planting plan, there should be no mowing of that area that is beyond the originally permitted limit of disturbance. And I wonder if there'd be some need for some permanent marker there just to establish that area if the property is sold, so that it's clear that the property as it appears to the eye does not appear to show any delineation between the limited disturbance. So I'm a little, I don't know why we can't get a planting plan by next month, and perhaps we should have had one this month. So this is, we've carried this month after month after month. This is a small area to prepare a plan for. So, I think that, I would recommend to this commission that we order a planting plan by the next meeting, so that we can establish that area, and that there be some order from this commission that there be no activity in the area that was set forth on the approved map as being a non-disturbance upland review area. Especially because I haven't heard, we'd like to conclude, I haven't heard any reason why we haven't gotten a plan yet, and why we won't get one by next month.
Chris has asked him for a plan.
Well, and we're still have no plan.
Well,
Can
he's
we
got
require a bond or revoke the permit?
Well, so I think, now you're talking,
I don't know.
Mr. Commissioner, yeah, we, as I said, I think we've shown great patience with this project. I would like to remind the commission that that there was activities in the wetland area themselves in the form of filling. I have photographs of this. I've brought this to the attention of the commission. And there were other lapses at the property from our perspective. So I don't know. I just can't figure out why we can't seem to get this done.
Guess you've got an issue.
Yeah, I'd like to enforce our regulations and make sure that people develop properties according to the maps that we approve. So I'd like to make a motion to require that we get a planting plan for that area by our next meeting.
How would,
Well, Chris has asked for that already.
I have asked for it. I
Yeah,
can't
so-
force him to give me something.
And that's what we're talking, I think we need to set this up for some compliance, some cooperation. I'm not seeing it. And in fact, I don't even see any communication from the owner about this at all. I haven't seen any correspondence. I'm working on it. I've requested from. I don't see anything. The file is, if we're getting everything, the file is.
does it seem likely we will get such a plan?
He indicated that he was going to have one.
How long
When
will
would
we
such a
get?
plan be implemented?
You have 2 growing seasons that they're typically implemented in. One is in the spring, and it's usually before the end of June, because then it starts to get dry. And then the other planting season would be in the fall when it's cooler again and you hypothetically have rains again. So you have 2 planting seasons a year.
So we would certainly like a plan that could be implemented
It
before.
would be preferable
spring
to have a
would be-
plan that was implemented,
Yeah.
planted this year.
And nothing will
spring.
change unless, about the plan, because you can't start until sometime in May or something like that anyway.
You're ordering plants, you're putting them in the ground.
Yeah. Doesn't take very long once you start.
But they will need a plan by May.
If they
To
were
be
gonna
able to
plant,
plant
you don't
in
wanna have a
June.
plan come in June, cause then it's too late
Right.
to plant, then you'd be
Right.
planting in the fall,
Yeah.
yeah.
So can we send them some sort of correspondence that suggests that
I email them, sure,
that
unless you want me to send it by certified mailing.
Oh,
People
yeah,
don't
that
pick
would
up
be a
their
very good
certified
way.
mail, so.
nobody could say they didn't get it?
Well, by email, I have it, because I get a response on the email, I have a red receipt.
Well, then that's okay too. I don't have a.
So may I? Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, may I suggest that we order a plan by next month so that we have we have a process
I think
to follow.
that effectively that has been done by Chris. She has sent an email and has gotten a response that he has received it.
Without but Mr. Chairman, just from a legalistic standpoint, I think without an order from the commission, I think that we may have a difficult time either enforcing or so. So I think we need some kind of a regulatory mechanism that where something doesn't happen, then we have a notice of a violation for failing to produce a report. So right now, we're kind of where if I'm not misunderstanding you, it seems like we're going to continue to do what we've been doing, even though we haven't gotten any results.
It's not that we haven't gotten results, we've gotten results. Took a little longer than expected. And I don't know that we have a mechanism for that sort of an order outside of some sort of a letter from our town
Certificate of occupancy from the
attorney.
building department is not subject to anything from the Wetlands Commission. It's only subject to approval by the zoning officer that the structures are, is zoning compliant.
Wait, I'm sorry, did I misunderstand your question? What was your question again?
My question?
No, Josh, was that your question that you
What?
just asked? Okay.
One question.
So,
I don't think there's a mechanism that we have available to us to send federal marshals through,
no.
to enforce this thing.
I agree, but I do believe we should, as
Well,
in,
but our enforcement officer has already got communication that says they're going to give us a plan. Now, how much more official can we be than that?
well,
I don't know what mechanisms exist.
okay, so I'm going to just say it one more time. I don't want to repeat myself, and I don't want to offend anybody. But as I said, we've requested. Our enforcement officer has reported to us that she has discussed it with them, and it's coming. We still have nothing. Our record, our file has nothing in it whatsoever about this discussion. That we're waiting on a plan. So if somebody went to the office and looked in a file with respect to that property,
You're going to
there's
print
no.
out the email, then put it in the file.
You can certainly put the emails in.
So I believe. So again, I think that we set this on a posture where we're expecting some compliance.
We are expecting some
Okay.
compliance, and I think at the next meeting, if we don't have the planting plan,
And we're at risk
We'll
of
address
missing the
it then.
growing season, the planting season.
Yeah. How long have we been asking for this plan?
We first had him field marked to, we kind of knew that there was an encroachment towards the thing, towards the ponds that are there. And so they established that out in the field, but that was winter time, so you weren't going to plant anything. So we were looking for a planting plan so it could be implemented in the spring.
Yeah.
to refresh my,
So we should have one the next meeting with high probability.
I would
Well, with some
certainly hope so.
probability.
Well, then hopefully this discussion will convey that the commission is interested in seeing a plan sooner rather than later, failing something more.
can you do a couple of follow-up interim reminders?
Certainly.
I think that would be,
I will start tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
any other items from,
Nope, haven't seen anything yet on 344, but you did get a letter last month indicating that they were going out to the site, and he was, again, developing you a plan. Hopefully we will see for May.
Something, yeah.
Because
Can I
he was aware, that we wanted something so that it could be implemented this spring.
Mr. Chairman, on that topic, if just 344 Litchfield,
No, Amity.
I'm sorry, 354 Amity, 344 Amity. Chris, have you forwarded to is it the Conservation District that we're working with?
Southwest Conservation District.
Could you forward them Mr. Brogie's report to have as part of their
I
file?
forwarded them what was issued by this commission, because that's what he had to comply with. I did not forward him Mr. Brogie's report, because
Okay.
I forwarded him what was issued to him so that he knew what he had to do based on the permit that was issued by this agency.
That's fine. Just my instinct was he could benefit from it
I
because
think he's pretty well knowledgeable. They were sending out soil scientists and a biologist and other people. So
Oh,
I'm
good.
pretty sure they were doing site visits, that they're going to be very thorough in what they do.
yeah, very good.
anything else?
Next
item?
Nope. The only other thing you got is minutes, and you don't have Gene here, so it's up to you
I read
guys.
them so carefully, I could find nothing.
Nothing.
Josh, you found nothing.
I found nothing.
I didn't find it.
Chris, you're getting better every month.
I miss Gene.
I looked for a missing period, I looked for all kinds of stuff, I couldn't find anything.
Well, what can I tell you?
A motion to approve the minutes of March 19th.
I'll move for that.
Okay. So moved, second.
Second.
Josh, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0, approved. Anything else?
Nope, Bob should be back for the next meeting, so that's
And,
all I got on that one. And at the moment, you've got a carryover of one, old business. I frankly don't know of any other new stuff that's coming along.
Okay,
If it does, it does.
We'll see.
very good.
Yeah.
A motion to end the meeting. Adjourn the meeting.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second?
So moved, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thank you.